Hello there guys, welcome to Isle of Man Ride on the Edge number 2. Right, I've been really looking forward to this game. I had no idea they had released it. I turned my Xbox on for the first time in ages the other day and I saw that it was on the new games, so I immediately bought it very excited. Now we'll get to this in a sec. First of all, sorry I haven't made a video for about 6 weeks-ish. I did something really stupid, which meant I had to focus on my business. So what I did, I accidentally deleted my email list of about 25,000 people. I was exporting it from a company onto my own business because I'd developed my own autoresponder. I saved it onto my old MacBook Air, and then without thinking about it, I bought a new computer, formatted my old one to give to my wife, and deleted my email list. So that's a bit of a problem because that's deleted my entire business. So what I've been doing over the past 6 weeks is spending some time building my business back up again, and I need to spend a lot more time doing that, so I haven't got much time to make videos. Also, we're on lockdown, so Filippo is home, Carol is working from home. It's very, very hard to make videos whilst Filippo's here, so I'm not expecting to be able to do much of that. But Isle of Man TT2, I had to get it, had to jump in. Right, I have started playing it already, but then I deleted my my save, both local and on Xbox Live, so that I could start again from the beginning. A couple of things about this game I've noticed already. The new camera views are almost impossible, so you want to stick with the one which is the most similar one to TT1. But I've noticed I can't match my time. Whoops, I thought I was waiting for it to load. No, not really. Right, it's a bit loud, isn't it? Let's just turn it down for a sec. I've noticed that no matter how hard I try, I cannot get like sub 21 minutes. My fastest time on TT1 I think was a 19 minutes and about 20 seconds. My fastest time on this is over 21 minutes, and I've been trying and I've suddenly realised something really bloody annoying. Your bike is handicapped and you have to play the career mode to unlock stuff that you can upgrade your bike with. So it doesn't mean your bike gets better, it sort of means that you're removing the handicap that your bike is given when you first get it until you've got the highest level parts on your bike, which I haven't done. I've not done that. I've started playing through the career mode, but I've obviously deleted my save. But I mean, you've got to play the career mode a lot to get all those pieces. You make money, you can buy some pieces in the in like the garage and stuff, but then you sort of get invitationals and things, and then you get awarded parts for your bike that you upgrade it with. So that's a bit shit, I think, that I can't just have this game, ride around Snaefell on time attack and try and post some decent times online. I just can't do that because my bike is not 100%, so I've got to play career. There are, on this game, some of the classic bikes, and Joey Dunlop is making an appearance, which is lovely. In fact, his bike's really nice to drive as well. So I'm just going to tell you what, I can't hear a damn thing. I've got my headphones on. Let me just turn the volume down a little bit. Where is it? I don't want to get rid of it completely. In here. Right, headset volume. Let's get you down a tad. Right, I'm not going to jump into the game just yet. I just want to show you a few things in the menu. They've changed all of this. It's nice, I prefer it. So now you are choosing between Superbike, Classics or Supersport. So in the Classic bikes, this is what we've got, and they are lovely machines. So check these out. This is really nice. This bike has got brilliant acceleration. It's very nice to ride, and also because the windshield is very, very low, you're kind of looking over the top of it a little bit. So when you get a load of bugs on your window, it doesn't really matter. But there's good old Joey. So we've got his bike, which is nice. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's it. So in the Super Sports, we have these. I mean, like the Honda CBR 600, we can choose a different rider for it, a different livery, like so. He's the only one of those. We've still got Hickman's. We haven't got Hutchinson. He seems to have been removed, which is a bit of disappointment for me. And then in the Superbikes, I haven't really looked into this because I don't really ride these very much. They're a bit difficult to handle. But this is who we've got going on in here. Quite like that. I like that. Like it a lot. So Connor Cummins, he wasn't in the previous game. So there's a few new faces, and a couple of the previous people are in here, but a couple of people have also been removed. Right, anyway, that's the bikes. A few gripes about the game. They've added birds, and they look so shit it's unbelievable. Like, shockingly shit. It looks like graphics from a PlayStation 1 or like the original Xbox. Not the 360, the original big fat black box. They're so bad. It's like, I assume the makers of the game are thinking, well, you're driving at 150 miles an hour, you're not going to be paying any attention to any birds, so we can get away with putting shitty birds in the game. But you do fall off, and it seems that every time you fall off, there's some birds flying past. And they're so embarrassingly bad that when you see them, it completely ruins the look of the game, because other than that, the graphics are quite beautiful. Now also, on this game, sometimes you get a house or a road sign or a tree pop up. So the draw distance on the graphics isn't very good. I mean, you can't see a great distance along the road, and then all of a sudden somebody's massive big white house will suddenly pop out of nowhere. That's fucking terrible, and I hope that the processing power to make the shitty birds appear is not causing the pop-up on the houses. I can't remember any pop-up problems on the graphics on TT1 at all. I'm sure there wasn't any, because I would have noticed that. But yeah, quite a lot of places a building will just pop out of nowhere, and to me that totally ruins the immersion. Right, next thing that is absolutely shit. The mini-map. Okay, there are several tracks where you're on like... I mean, one of the tracks, for example, you drive around an airport and there's loads of little roads going off in all sorts of directions, and you've got your route that you need to do, and you've got the mini-map, but the mini-map does not tell you which road you need to be on at all. There's not like a blue line around the route, it just shows you all of the roads like a normal paper map would. So you've got no fucking idea at all where you're supposed to go unless you're following someone. Now, if you're at the front and you don't have the driver line on, you haven't got a fucking clue where you're supposed to go. It's so stupid. So you're driving... Hello? No, it's okay. So you're driving around, you take a wrong turn, and it automatically respawns you back on the track because you've gone the wrong way. It's so dumb, it really is. They absolutely need to put like a blue line on the mini-map, which is where you're going. Now, the other little gripe as well about the map, when you put the game on pause, it's the same as the first one. It doesn't show you where you are on the map, which would be really quite handy. I wish they did that. So I wanted to tell you some of the bad things about the game, because when you look at the reviews on the Xbox store, most of the reviews are telling you all the good stuff. Now, there is some good stuff. The bikes sound better. A lot of people are saying the bikes are handling better, but I'm finding them more difficult to ride. I'm falling off more now than I did before, but I have noticed that they're a little bit more forgiving. It seems like in the past they had a problem with oversteer. It's like your front wheel would bite in and you'd oversteer and you'd crash into a wall. Whereas now it seems that if you make a mistake, it's more towards the understeer side, where you hit the outside of a bend, rather than the oversteer where you turn into the inside too sharp. So they've definitely done some tweaking. Another thing I don't like is we now have tyre temperature, we have ambient air temperature, and we have brake temperature, and all of those things affect the handling of the bike. Now, obviously they've tried to make it as realistic as possible, but I wish you could turn those things off. You cannot. I want my bike to be optimum conditions all of the time, so I can just try and post a fast time. I don't want to have to think about when I brake for this corner, how hot or cold are my brakes? Do I have to adjust my braking distance? How hot or cold are my tyres? How is it going to act when I turn the corner? But the bike does respond differently if your tyres are cold compared to if they're hot. It responds differently at the beginning of the race. Now, I know if you're a hardcore sim fan, that's going to be great news to you, but for me, an arcadey racer, all those things are a little bit too extreme. I want to be able to turn them off. Now, the other thing as well, I don't know, let me just go back into the main menu. Oh, hi, Filippo. I don't know if it's possible, but I don't seem to be able to change the level of the game. So... no. I mean... Yeah.
Begin. Please.
Oh yeah, let's make an avatar, shall we? Oh, I've got to name it and everything. Filippo, no. Stop jumping. Right. I've already started career, as I said, and then I deleted it, but there didn't seem to be anywhere where I could adjust the difficulty setting. And we got to like the junior TT race, And can you, mi amor, can you call Filippo, please? Well done. Right, we're on lockdown and Filippo's not enjoying it. He's running around the house like a lunatic. Right, anyway, I don't seem to be able to change... I don't know if the music's too loud, so I'll do that. I don't seem to be able to change the difficulty settings. So as I say, I was on like Junior TT. Bruce Anstey was on, he won the race. And he clocked a time as like 15 minutes and like 30 or 40 seconds. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going to compete with that. My time was 21 minutes. And I obviously came last by a long way. Everybody's time was everybody's time was like sub 18 minutes. My best time ever is 19 minutes and about 20 seconds, so I can't compete with that. I just can't. I'm not good enough. So I wanted to lower the difficulty setting on the game, but I couldn't find any way to do it. There were things that I could adjust, which made the bike easier for me to handle, but it's not going to shave off like 3 minutes of my time. That's insane. So yeah, the difficulty settings, I don't know whether I've just not found the right setting for them or what, but that's a little bit of a problem. So anyway, let's jump into the career mode and you can have a little look round. So I've got to name myself, haven't I? Why isn't it on caps automatically for the first letter? Yeah, I'll give you some corona update in Colombia. They're taking it really fucking serious here. We had 100 cases and no deaths, and we went into total lockdown of everything, flights all grounded and stuff. I'm supposed to be in England for 3 weeks, like from the 1st of April, but that's not happening. So we're on total lockdown, which I think is quite good really, but there are some people that are not taking the lockdown that serious. But what the police are doing is if there's any people that are within 2 metres of another person, the police are giving them a fine that's equivalent to about £300, which they're being quite strict about it. I mean, I saw England's lockdown where Boris said, we've got to be really strict, we've got to close everything, but you're allowed to go outside for one form of exercise a day. So that means if anyone wants to go outside, they've just got to wear a pair of trainers and say, I'm going for a run. I think it's a bit silly. I think we need to take it a bit more serious than that. Right, what do I want to be? Do I want to be Manx or do I want to be Colombian? I'm going to be Colombian. Right. So yeah, we're doing all right. We've had 3 cases so far, 3 deaths so far, which is not too bad. I mean, we're a couple of weeks in. Most countries were in the hundreds by this state, so obviously our fast lockdown is working. Oh, I've just been on the phone for the Tourist Trophy organisation. It's official, you've got your licence. Cheers, Ken.
Select your first button.
That'll be an Honda CBR 600 then. Let's see my options, actually. Right, I know, because I've played a little bit of the career already, that I get the option of riding for Triumph and also Yamaha very, very quickly. I don't know whether that was influenced because I chose the Honda myself. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going with a Honda. And the livery options are absolutely horrible, but you get better liveries when you get on a team. So, I mean... probably that really. I mean, we can look at the bike, we can go into a showroom and we can look at it like this. I think the bike graphics are nicer. What I've done over the past few days, I've played this one quite a bit and then I jumped back on the old one for like a bit of a comparison stake, and I've been having a good look at the graphics and stuff. Now the graphics on this one, the bikes look better. There are things that move when you're riding the bike that don't move on the first one. It's kind of like your oil filler cap will vibrate and stuff like that. So there is a little bit of attention to detail on here that's not on the first one. And then I think sometimes you hear your knee pad scrape on the floor. I'm playing in cockpit view, so I'm not absolutely certain if that's the noise, but that's what it sounds like. I've also noticed that there's a little bit more shading and stuff like that in a lot of the stuff around the track, but the crowds of people still look shit. Their faces look absolutely shit, and also the way they sit is the same whether they're sitting on a really, really steep slope or whether they're just sitting on a wall or a bench or whatever. It's like it's the same model in the same position. So they've kind of, I think again, same situation with the birds. What they've done, he said, people are driving around here 150 miles an hour. It doesn't matter if these people look a bit shit. No, we fall off often. Now, one of the things that I did on TT1 that you guys don't know about, I went round the entire Snaefell track really, really slowly, rotating my camera around, looking in everyone's garden, looking down the side streets and everything. I tell you what, I was blown away. I was so impressed with the attention to detail on stuff that you would normally fly past and pay no attention to, and that really impressed me. Now, it seems like they spent a bit more time thinking about the... Hello, Filippo. There's no point in even being shut in the other room if both doors to the terrace are open, is there? Let me find a toy for you to play with. Yeah, I just think on this game they've focused a little bit more on you're not falling off your bike, so therefore we don't care about these graphics. ¿Qué pasó? Huh? ¿Qué quiere? Hang on a sec, let's just get him something to distract him. Okay, are you going to take him back in there? Okay. Yeah, I'll take him this. Filippo, ¿qué es esta? Hey! Thanks. Oh, it's going to be impossible for me to do YouTube videos during lockdown, it really is, but I had to get one up, it's been so long. One last thing, what I don't like about the graphics over the first one, when you fall off on the first one, the camera goes a little bit sketchy and then you get these like spectral colours appears, and I think it looks really good. I didn't mind falling off because I think that looks really, really nice. On this one, they've got like a black and white filter and it just looks a bit shit. So yeah, I think they've gone backwards on that. Anyway, let's get, what livery shall I have? Shall I have this? What was the other one? So let's have a quick whiz through them. Yeah, I'm gonna go with this. Right, confirm. Yes, that's my choice.
You are now in the main hub. This is where you'll manage your career.
Rightio.
First, take note of your resources at the top of the screen. Reputation, money, and perk.
I've got £1,000 then.
All these to progress in your career. To ride in your first race, go to the race calendar.
Okie doke. Right, race calendar. This bit.
The calendar includes all
Yeah. Okay. Right, I didn't realise this when I played before, but you've got 3 different options here. So I'm on the top one, and if you push up and down, it goes to the others. Now, obviously today I've only got 2 options because there's only 2 races available. So I can do this race, the easy one, or I can do this one, which is considered a difficult one, and you get different rewards. I think the system that they've got with the perks is shit. It's like, I don't know why they did that. I don't know why they added it. It's a little bit like on Forza Motorsport 7 and 6 as well, I think, where you've got those bonus cards that you have. I think they're a bit gimmicky and rubbish. But anyway, I didn't know that I could choose options, so I was just pressing the day, always doing the easy option. I got to this race here, I think, somewhere around here, and I wanted to do the TT. There it is, Junior TT, which is considered the hard option, this one. But I'd automatically press that one without realising. He said, right, you've been invited to the Junior TT. And I thought, great, I pressed the button and we started riding in Wales. I was thinking, what's going on this night in TT? So that's when I noticed that you have to change it yourself. Anyway, so when you get in here, don't just press the button, because it's always on the easy option. So I'll pick that, I'll pick the easy one because I'm not very good. And I've only got one bike, so I've got to choose this. Right, parts and setup. Look at this.
Prepare your bikes for races from this menu.
Yeah.
Bikes must be a minimum weight to be eligible to.
Okie doke. Right, this is what really has annoyed me, because on TT1, you just got your bike, that was it. There was no fannying about, no having to put parts on your bike to make it good. It was just good all the time. Right, but on this one, you've got different levels of things. So this is... Hey, what happened? Why did it come out of the thing? Right, so you've got your suspension, transmission, your engine, your brakes, your chassis, your wheels, radiator, and that's it. But when you go into one of these things, I think it goes up to level 5. I can't do anything with it because I haven't got any pieces, so it's just automatically coming back out when I press the button. But yeah, when you go in here, once you've got some parts, I'm pretty sure it goes up to level 5 on each of the parts. So you've got to play career mode to either get the money and buy them bits, or be awarded them bits for the bike that you want to ride before you can then sack off career mode and just focus on the Snaefell track, time attack, and post times on the leaderboard. I don't think that the classic bikes do that. I think the classic bikes are just as is. I'm not sure, but I think the classic bikes are just perfect from the beginning. So it might be a good idea to stick with some of the classic bikes for posting some nice times. And some of them are nice, some of them are really nice to ride, and they sound beautiful as well. The bikes sound better. Right, so I can't change my bike. Job done. Let's go. The game looks good, but I am going to intentionally show you the birds. You've got to see how shit these are. I tell you, I've seen better birds than this on a PS1. They're so bad. They're really bad. They need to remove them. There's no need for them to be there. We don't need birds in a motorcycle racing game. All they're doing is taking up processing time, which could be the reason we've got these pop-up graphics on houses, and they're also making the game look shit every time you notice them. You notice them and you just think, oh my god, that looks shit. Whereas if they weren't there at all, we wouldn't miss them. We wouldn't be riding the motorbike thinking, you know what this game needs? Some wildlife. That's what it needs. You just wouldn't think that. Right. What we got in the options? So riding style, look, they've got a couple of new camera options, which, default camera, chase, near. So we've got helmet, dashboard, fork, chase, near and far. I think mine is dashboard, yeah. Helmet and head are exactly the same, but when you're on the helmet one, it kind of just puts a black, border around the screen that's supposed to be your helmet, and it muffles the sound. So it sounds like you've got a helmet on. But the actual camera does the same stuff. And it's really hard. It really is. It's like your bike just suddenly swings off to the left when you're turning around a corner because you're leaning your face really far out on the right. It's so difficult. And when you brake, your viewpoint goes really high because you're standing up on your bike, like for your air braking on your body and stuff like that. It's very, very difficult. I can't possibly imagine what... the fork, that's like you can't see anything at all, it's just the front of your bike. That's what that is, so you just see the road. That wouldn't be too bad. But the dashboard is the one that's the same as the cockpit view from the first game, which is the one that I find the easiest. Dynamic view, I experimented with dynamic view on the first game. I've not had a go on here, but if you guys haven't seen this, what it does is it starts to turn the camera towards the next corner, so it gives you a clue as to how the road's going. I tell you what, actually, that would help with the minimap problem because the camera would shift to the left and you'd think, yeah, I'm going to have to turn left here, as opposed to thinking, where the fuck do I go? But I don't like it. I found it quite difficult. Anything where the camera moves off the bike, I find quite difficult. But these couple of views, the helmet, the head and the helmet ones, they're actually really quite impressive. They move around a lot. Very, very similar to MotoGP 2019. Anyway, let's get in there. Yeah, I'm done. Come on, let's go. Start your engines. So you'll probably see as I race around here. I don't know. Look, there's a bird. Look how shit it looks. They're moving dead straight lines with really fake wings. They're so shit, they really are. This camera seems a bit too high. I'll give you a couple of views. On this view, your bike just seems to swing and slide. Look at that. You see what I mean? So this is your... much more forgiving when you go off the track. See, like when you brake, I'll stay in this view for a little bit so you can have a little butchers at it. I don't know which way to go, right? Oh, okay, that road's closed, so I've got to go this way. I'm following the driver line, and I forgot I've got driver line on. So you'll see what I mean about this view, the way that when you turn, I'm trying to turn over, like oversteer a little bit so you can see the way the camera works. But your head bobs around a lot, it really does, and it makes it quite difficult. So I struggle with that, but this is just the same apart from the sound changes and you've got a black line around the screen. This one is the one that's most similar to the... Hey, get back! Right, this one's the one that's most similar to the previous game. Hang on, I've got to focus a bit here to try and catch this dude. Go on. Did you hear that noise? I don't know what that noise is, that little noise. I was thinking that might be one of my my knee little scraper things touching the floor, but I don't know what it is. Come on, I gotta catch this dude. I can catch him. This bike doesn't sound very good, but some of the other bikes sound really nice. The Triumph actually sounds really good. Right, dude. You can actually bump into the people quite a lot without falling off as well. It's a lot more forgiving on little mistakes. Oh shit. Okay. See, it just goes black and white. That's not as nice as the first game. Oh, there's no birds. Look, whoa, look in the distance. Up at that hill at the top. Look at that tree that's just floating in the sky. That's shit. See, it's stuff like that I really don't like in games. It just completely ruins the immersion of it when you got a tree that's growing out of the sky. And the water looks nice and all the rocks and stuff. Now, one of the other things they've done, I don't know if they did this on the first game or not, because I didn't really restart races very much. But if I pause now and go restart, I'll get 10% penalty on whatever I get awarded. I don't know which way to go at the bottom of this hill. Based on the mini-map. Right, I've got to go left then, because those dudes went left. Right, there's a bird. I can't get it. It's a different camera will do it. It's gone now anyway. Here they are, look. Look how straight that bird's flying. Oh, dead straight line. Here's another one coming in. They're so shit. They are so shit. They don't need to be in the game. And they look terrible. I mean, these ones look better than normal. Yeah, there's one. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. It really is. So yeah, if you restart, you get 10% penalty. So they've added some different weather conditions. See the thing that's obviously an airport on the left? That is a nightmare when you don't know which way to go. Right, let's actually do a proper race now, see how we can get on. Ooh, shit! I'm not restarting again, I'll have 20%. I want this view. See that rock just appear up in front of me? Little pop-up, and another one. Look at the stuff just popping up. I really do not recall pop-up like that on the first game, I really don't. I've got combined brakes on, but I think that if you press the back brake button at the same time as your combined brakes, I reckon it actually slows you down a bit more. I reckon it helps. So on some corners I'm doing that. I'm also using my back brake button. How many laps we got to do? I have no idea. Might be one. Anyway, I'll try and post a fairly good time. I'll show you what the perk system is, which I think is stupid. So yeah, if you've watched my previous videos on Isle of Man TT number 1, you will know that I absolutely love that game. It's my favourite game. I think it's the best motorcycle racing game by a long way, and it's actually one of my favourite racing games altogether. I mean, Forza Horizon 4 does take some beating, and so does the motorsports as well. The Forza games are good. They're a bit arcadey, but I like them a bit arcadey. But my favourite racing game by far is the first one of these. But there's a few things on this one that I think they need to sort out. They need to get rid of those stupid birds. They need to sort out this pop-up grass growing. Now that did happen on the first one. I remember seeing the grass grow as you drive around. But I can't remember any bloody houses suddenly popping up from nowhere. This dude's catching me up, look. Stay on. It's a shame that I'm on the Honda, because the Triumph sounds a lot better. Oh, which way do you reckon I've got to go at the bottom of this hill then? Left? It was left, wasn't it? Yeah, it was, alright. Sharp corner this, I'm not going to make it! Ah, shit. We had some shitty birds flying over there. They've also got the problem on this game, which they did have on the first one, but I think they fixed it. I think when the first game came out, they had the problem, and then they solved it. Oh, it was only one lap. Because when you get the dead flies on your windscreen, after a while they start to turn into like little squares, and it looks really fake. That happens on this game, whereas on the first one it happened originally, and I'm sure an update fixed it. So how did I do then? 5th. That's not too bad. I'll take that.
Congratulations. You've earned your first perk.
Cheers, dudes. Right, this is a perk, look. Level 2 perk, tyre warmers. Your tyres are slightly warm before you start. Right, but the thing is, to use your perks, you have to spend perk points. You get 100 perk points per race, I think. I think it keeps resetting. So you spend those perk points, not a big deal. But it also costs money, which is a really big deal because you want your money. So I'm like, do I want slightly warmer tyres and spend £1,000? No, I don't. I want to keep my £1,000 and save my money so I can buy parts for my bike so I can go around Snaefell in a bike that isn't handicapped. I mean, I'm really annoyed about that. It's
Your first race impressed several teams who are offering you a 1-year contract.
really they're easy to impress.
Join the team, you will use their bikes for the entire season.
Whoopie-doo.
You will also receive the team's livery and suit.
Smashing.
Each contract includes several objectives. If you complete them successfully, you will receive parts to improve your own bike.
Well, thank fuck for that.
Choose the contract that interests you the most.
Right, let's have a look then. BMW? No. Riders. What do we get? We get Triumph Daytona with this. So, objective 1, transmission, chassis, radiator, blah blah blah. We get the Daytona 675 Supersport. That's a nice bike. So we got. I wonder if we can get Hickman's livery. I don't want the Yamaha. It's got to be. So we got the Kawasaki, the Triumph, or the Yamaha. I've got to go for the Triumph. I really have. I want my bike. I want the Honda. But I don't know whether because I chose a Honda, like I said before, I don't know whether that means that a Honda's now not available in this. So if I'd have chose a Triumph, maybe Triumph wouldn't be here as an option and Honda would. But I'm going with a Triumph. I think it's got the nicest sounding engine out of these bikes. So, welcome to Riders Motorcycles. We're here to help you as much as we can for the next season. Good luck in completing all of your objectives. Riders Motorcycles. Right, anyway, I wanted to see, now that I'm actually in the career, if there's anywhere I can change my difficulty settings so that when I'm on the Junior TT, Bruce Anstey doesn't post a time of 15 fucking minutes, because I ain't got a cat in owl's chance of getting anywhere near that. If I get sub 20, I'll be happy. So what can we access now? We've had a look in Garage, haven't we?
Use the garage to view your bike collection.
I've only got 2. So now I've got a Triumph. Oh, I can't change the livery, it's just this one. I can look at it though. It is nice, isn't it? Let's zoom in a bit, have a little look. Yeah, the bikes are so nice, aren't they? They really are. And the wheels look good as well. Very pretty indeed. So what else can we do in here then? We can't change the livery, unfortunately. We can buy liveries in the shop. So if I pop into the shop now, it might show you. Oh, this is not the shop, is it? This is just my my garage. I haven't got any bits yet, so there's nothing I can do in there. I'm sure it was in the garage. Oh, it's locked. The shop is locked, so I've got to do something else before the shop unlocks. The Irish Championship is just something that goes on the side whilst you're doing your career. So a lot of the stuff is locked at the minute. That challenge zone at the top, they've got kind of like a free ride area, but it's only in Ireland, which really annoyed me because I wanted it to be in the Isle of Man, or England. But there's sort of challenges in the free ride area, like go from 0 to whatever miles an hour in a short time, 120 miles an hour. And then there's ones where you have to start from a certain location and go as far as you can, and you get extra time when you go through checkpoints. It's stuff like that. It seems quite basic, really. And you just get bits for your bike and stuff as you do it. So there's Peter Hickman, look. That's the bike I wanted.
After competing in a race, the calendar automatically advances to the next races available.
Okie doke.
In this period, you have several races to choose from. Note that certain events are more difficult than others, but also more prestigious.
Well, I ignored that bit last time. What it should say there is if you want to do a different event, you got to move up and down.
These ones will generally provide more reputation and money if you finish in the top places.
Yeah, that's enough. Right, so I've got 2 options this time. That option at the bottom is locked. I don't know why. Unlock conditions, earn 100 reputation points. So obviously, there's no way I can do season 1 that race, because I'm never going to have 100 reputation points after my first race, am I? That's crazy. But I can do a medium difficulty, and I will get 50 rep points, 3 whatever the little people stand for, popularity, and I'll get 4 grand. Or I can do this one, I'll get 2 people, 2 grand, and 60 of those points. So I don't know which track's which. So that's a part of Snaefell mountain track. Sections 1 to 3. I know that quite well, so I could do that. And this is 4 laps of the Tyrone track. I'm going to go with Snaefell because I know that a lot better. This is variable weather conditions. So they've sort of like added fog and stuff. Right, so a guaranteed fund level 2 reward for just finishing the race. Finishing the top 3 and I get quick respawn level 4. So that means I just get back on my bike quicker. So we're going to go for this one.
Use perk points to use the perks you earn at the end of each race. Perks are actions that give you an edge in each race. You will also need to spend money for some perks.
Yeah.
In each race, you can use a perk from each category: mechanics, engineers, influence, and insurance.
Right, interesting that he said you only have to spend money on some of them. I thought you had to spend money on all of them. Now I've got...
Perks will reset to 0 at the start.
Yeah. Right, so I've got 100 perk points. I've got £1,450. I've only got a mechanic perk, but to use it... Oh, I haven't got to spend any money. That's brilliant. So I'm gonna use that this time because it doesn't spend any money. And using 30 perk points means nothing, so they reset. But where it says total cost at the bottom, it adds up the money from each one you've used. And I was kind of thinking, oh, they cost like £1,000 to use a perk. That seems like a lot. I want to buy, parts for my bike. So I'm going to be using my Triumph. So we got to do the first section of the course. That's section 1, section 3. Where is that? At the end of section 3. So that right-hand bend. That's at the bottom of the hill, isn't it? You come down the hill and you've got that sharp right just at the bottom of the hill. Right then, we can do this. We have practiced this many times. Well, on the old game. Just can jump straight in, I think. Come on then. Let's go. I've got anti-wheelie on full, so don't worry about that kind of stuff. Very slow acceleration off the line there. Don't know whether it'd be a bit better if I had manual gears. I'm in automatic. Hopefully we can get through this with no falling off. It's a very easy part of the track. Can't really see very much. It's a bit dark. Bit sketchy there. Had to take the accelerator off. Bit of over braking there. And there. Right, I slowed down way too much. Right, look out for pop-up. Look down the road and see if you see any houses pop up out of nowhere. But I'm sure there wasn't the problem with pop-up graphics like that on the first one. Absolutely sure. I'm going way too slow. That's so messy. I lost control a little bit there. I've got it back now. Just coming down to Union Mills. All looking good so far. Got a break. Oh, not looking good, but I haven't fell off. I haven't fallen off. That's the important thing. So we've got it tells you how long you've got to go, look. 5.3 miles left to go. That's pretty handy. Yeah, it looks a lot nicer when it's clear, when there's like sunshine and everything. It looks much better than this. I prefer it to just always be sunny and you get the rays of sunshine and everything. It just looks much nicer. I'm not all that interested in it being foggy at all. I'd just rather have pretty graphics than realistic weather. Sometimes rain looks good, but then it's really bloody hard to ride a motorcycle. So who likes riding a bike in the rain? Nobody. Seems really slow. I mean, this is because I've got like level 1 on everything, isn't it? It's like you come off playing the first game and you get on this and you think, why am I going so slow? And it's because you've got to upgrade your bike to make it normal. It's just so annoying, that is. And it is. It's like you're not making your bike better. You're removing the handicaps that have been imposed on your bike. That's it now. I've fucked it. I've fallen off, so I'm going to come last. To remember to lean forward so I don't pop the front wheel as much as I am doing. Turn! Bollocks. That man looks stupid. why did they put anyone in that position with their arms like that? It's so not natural. It's like they had to pose that person. You know, someone made the decision to put a person in that pose to put them in the game. Why did they choose that? I'm doing terrible now. I'll tell you what, there is one good thing about the fog. The buildings don't pop up so much because the draw distance isn't quite so far. I really am not used to the handling of these bikes compared to the first one. I think the handling on the first game was a lot easier, I really do. But yeah, these ones seem to... and the braking points are different. You have to brake much earlier on this corner than I did before. And that was with the CBR 600 Xavier Dennis's one when I was just doing time attacks. I went for my normal braking point, I just hit the siding wall. So obviously the bikes are different, but that was before I realised that the bikes, you know, you've got to upgrade them. So obviously once I've upgraded it, it'll be different. Right, terrible, absolutely terrible. So I'm going to be last, I imagine. Oh, I'm 10th out of 15. I'll take that, that's not too bad. But yeah, I fell off way too many times and I wasn't riding particularly well. Right, so we got £1,600, we got 40 perk points, 1 reputation, and a perk. The penalty for restarting a race is very slightly reduced. Well, don't say very slightly, tell me how much it's reduced by. Is it reduced by 10%? What? Very slightly. That's just stupid. So there we go, guys. That's a little bit of a first look at Isle of Man TT, Ride on the Edge number 2. I was very surprised to see that this game had been released when I turned my Xbox on the other day. I was just doing like updates, seeing what was on the Game Pass and all that stuff. And I saw this and thought, Jesus, bought it straight away. I didn't expect this until like later in the year, and I was expecting it to be on the next platform, on the Xbox. So yeah, it really surprised me to see that it's already out. But I kind of wish that it was coming out on the next Xbox and not this generation, and they'd used all the extra processing power to make it absolutely incredible. But, I mean, they've got to get rid of those bergs. They look so crap. There's no need for them to be there whatsoever, and they are using some processing power. There's a lot of them as well. When you're riding around, they're all over the place going in different directions. So all of that is taking up processing power, and obviously they're struggling with processing power because every now and again a house pops up from nowhere, or a big rock in a field, or you know, and also as we saw, we had a couple of trees that were growing out the sky. So yeah, I've got some gripes. I was kind of hoping that I could get to the point where I could show you the shop and you could have a look at the way that you upgrade your bikes and stuff. When you buy parts for your bike, you can fiddle with them, so you can fiddle with your bike setup, which obviously will make some people very happy. Anyway, let's continue.
The Irish Championship is a competition that takes place throughout the season and includes 8 races.
Right, so yeah, we have the Irish Championship as well. There are a couple of situations where if you choose one race, you can't do the Irish Championship, so you can't get points on that day at all. And the Junior TT one, you can either do the Junior TT, which if you win it, you get an instant invite to the main TT. It's one of the requirements for getting in, but it does mean that you've forfeited some points on the Irish Championship because you have to forfeit the race that day. But yeah, there are certain requirements that you have to meet in a season in order to be able to ride the TT and do the Snaefell track. So that's sort of your objective, really. So there's a little bit more in this career mode than there was in the first one. I think the first career mode was much more about managing money, but it was a bit stupid because if you ran out of money, it just says, here's a shitload of money for nothing because you weren't doing very good. It's like, oh, I don't care, I'm not doing very good now, because you just give me a load of money. Whereas it would be better if it said, tough luck, you've run out of money, you can't race. I mean, in real life that would happen, wouldn't it? I mean, I suppose in real life you could get a bank loan. Although if you went to the bank and you says, I can't ride a motorcycle, I just can't compete at all, I'm always coming last, can you give me some money to do some more races? They'd be like, no, on your bike. Literally, on your bike. Wouldn't they? They're not going to say, yeah, here's a shitload of money so that you can win some races and pay us back. They're going to say, no, because you ain't making no money, you're not winning no races, so we ain't going to give you any money. But obviously, they've tried to bring a little bit I think they've tried to bring a little bit more to the career mode to encourage people to do it, and one of the ways that they're encouraging people to do it is by forcing people to do it, because it's the only way that you seem to be able to get your bike up to its normal standard and remove the handicaps that have been imposed on it by requiring to have level 5 forks and transmission and radiator and all that jazz, as opposed to your bike just being normal. I really wish they'd allowed you to sidestep that. I wish they'd said, look, you've bought the game, you spent 50 quid, if all you want to do is time attack on Snaefell, here's a shit-hot bike that's ready to go. Have fun, see you later, thanks for your money. But they didn't say that. What they've said instead is, we spent a lot of time making this part of the game and we want to force you to play it. Because if you don't play it, that part of the game ain't quite so exciting, and you'll be racing thinking, why is this bike so fucking slow? So anyway, let's get out of Korea.
At the end of each
Yeah.
When you sign a contract,
Bollocks, I've just signed a contract.
bike for made when you
Yeah,
start.
I know. I've just signed a contract by thumping the A button too many times. Right, I'm going to get out of the career mode. Look at this, 100 quid, that one, that's not too bad. I thought they were all 1,000, so I don't know which one I had before, but I had to spend £100 to be able to use this guaranteed fund. The penalty for restarting the race is slightly reduced. Not by £100, my winnings are bet. Right, I'm going to get out of all this stuff. And I'm going to go into just a time attack. Obviously Snaefell. We'll go on clear noon. Look at this. Ambient temperature of the world. Hot, moderate or cold. I'll put it on hot. It really does alter the handling. It's like your tyres are a bit different. So I think moderate's the way to go. But I don't want this. I want it to be whatever the first game was. I don't want my tyres to work differently because they're not warm enough yet. I want to be able to turn it off. But I can't. So obviously we're going for the classics. I want to show you this bike, Steve Hislop's bike. It's so good. I mean, obviously I should be showing you Johnny Dunlop, shouldn't I, really? Let's have a look at Johnny Dunlop's bike. Very nice. But look at the stats. Acceleration only 4. I mean, he wants a bike with acceleration 4. I mean, what does that even mean? 4 out of what? It's just like, I mean, this dude's bike, his acceleration is 7. I'm pretty sure it doesn't accelerate at almost double the speed of this one. I don't know. I don't really understand what that means. Acceleration 7. It's not very good stats. And I wish you could kind of compare bikes against each other as well. You can't really do that though. Oh, hang on. Parts and setup on a Norton. Oh, bollocks. I thought this bike was... So I've got to buy the parts for this as well. Oh, that's annoying. So yeah, this is all level 1. I've got to earn money and buy parts for this bike. So what I said earlier in the video about the classic bikes being tip-top condition from the off, that's not true. Can I buy parts for this bike? Parts and setup? Can I buy something? No, it doesn't do what you expect it to do. Right, so I choose this. I can't go left or right. Oh look, I can change it though. What's down here? That doesn't do anything. I can't buy any bits. Let's have a look in the main shop. Is there a shop in the main menu? Free roam, tutorial, time attack, quit. So is the shop only in the career? So even to buy something for a bike that I'm going to use on time attack, I have to go into the career and go through all the bollocks. You've got to do quite a few races before they even open the shop and let you in. And then you need money to spend in the shop. So if you're only interested in doing time attack, don't buy this game, just stick with the first one. Because you'll have to ride a shitty bike or do the career mode, earn some money, and then wait for them to open the shop for you and then go and buy something. That's frustrating, isn't it? I'll show you the bike anyway, because it's nice. Right. We'll have a look at it in the showroom. There it is. That's enough of that. Now we'll have a go on it on the track. I'm just gonna do a little bit of riding on here with this bike, and then that's the end of this video. Can't wait until the next generation of consoles where we have no loading times. That'll be lovely jubbly. So yeah, I do apologise guys, but I ain't going to be able to make many videos. There's probably going to be another big gap between now and my next one. Obviously, Carol's at home, Filippo's at home, we're on lockdown. I've still got a shitload of work to do to be able to cover my business because of that stupid mistake I made by deleting 25,000 subscribers from my email list, which has completely crippled my business. Completely. My income's gone down to almost zero, so I've got to do some work. But yeah, I thought I'd better make a video, really. I hadn't made one for a while. I thought it was longer than 6 weeks. Now, you got to bear in mind, I don't know if you saw that guy holding his camera just a minute ago, but he was standing with his legs really far apart and looked bloody stupid. There he is, look. It's like... I mean, I used to make characters for Second Life, and you have to pose them. Someone is... That guy on the left with that jumper and the glasses on, someone's put that guy into that pose. And it's like... It don't look natural. It's like, who did this? Look at her face with the blonde hair. It's totally shit. It looks like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider 1. It's like, this is an Xbox One X with super duper processing power. Make these people look good. Spend a few polygons, or you know what I mean? Get rid of those shitty birds and sort out these people. They look terrible. That man at the back doesn't look natural at all, but someone has moved his arms and legs into that position before putting him in the game. I wish they'd have spent a little bit more time on these little things. I mean, I like that they've got the little animations, you know, so they pump their fist, they clap their hands. That's quite nice, but the faces just look shit. It does look like Tomb Raider 1. But yeah, I mean, I drove around this track really slowly with a camera like this, looking in everyone's garden, looking down the driveways and all of that. And I was just like, wow, this looks fucking awesome. But actually, on this game, it's just not so impressive. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's do a wheelie. Let's lean forward on our bike a little bit. Let's go on this camera. Okay, I'm on the one where I'm going to ride this race without an helmet on. Let's be brave. Yeah. Oh, don't touch the curb. Yeah, this bike's in. Whoops, Daisy. I'm probably dead now. This bike seems to be... bollocks. Let's get into chase cam. Have a little look at our super wheelies. Woo-hoo. They don't look at you either. It's like on even games from quite a long time ago, the guys standing in the crowd automatically turn and face you. Even when it was a 2D... Right, actually, this is what this game should have done. It's like 2D graphics of a person that looks 3D because of the shading, and then that person turns to face you at all times, would be a lot less processing power than all these polygons that are making up this crowd here on the left. I mean, that crowd actually looks pretty good. But that's what games used to do. Racing games used to do that. And if you were looking at the crowd and you slowly drove along like this, they'd all rotate to you. I thought that was quite good. But, I mean, look at some of the stuff. Look at that guy's car there. He's had a bit of a knock, hasn't he? But yeah, I went around the game doing this on the first one. The shading on this one, everything's slightly darker. It seems to have like I don't know whether the HDI settings are higher, you know, like a broader range on this, but there seems to be a lot more shadow, a lot more darker stuff. But yeah, I had a real good look round on the first game. Nice reflections off that car down there, the one with the very tinted windows. But that car in the background, look, on the other side of the road, what the fuck's going on with its wheels? It's like they haven't done shading on the underside of the inside of the wheels so that we can see straight through them. They should have done. I don't like stuff like that, I really don't. I mean, I know not many people are going to look at that car over there, but I'm looking at it now, and it looks rubbish. I'm a little bit picky, I think. A bit anal when it comes to graphics. Let's press on. Yeah, turning when you're in this view, it's a bit weird. The bike just seems to slide. It really does. It's a bit strange. Can we do a stoppie? Turned it off. What are you doing with your elbows, mate? That's a little bit weird. She looks a bit pissed off, doesn't she? It's probably because of her eyebrows. I mean, look at the state of them. Come on, back it up, back it up. Let's have a look at her eyebrows. Oh, they're not too bad. She's got ridiculous shorts on though. So yeah, I mean, this dude here, that's not a natural pose. Look at his arms. No one stands like that. You can't stand like that. It'd be really uncomfortable. But someone had to model his arms to that position, look, hanging out from his body like this before they put him in the game. Why do that? That looks like the default stance that the mannequin is on before you start moving their arms around. So they've just picked him up and says, yeah, he'll do. How bloody lazy can you be? If they'd moved his arms to a natural position and just had him standing still, there's no more processing power, nothing at all. Just a little tiny bit of effort making him look natural as opposed to this. Nobody stands with their arms like that. It looks shit. So yeah, that's kind of annoyed me about this game a little bit. Little things like that. Whereas I think the first game also had a few problems, but I think the attention to detail on the first game seemed to be a bit better than this one. Let's change the camera. I can't really get the camera I want. Yeah, this is the fork camera look. Doesn't look like forks to me. It looks like I'm right up in the air. I'm not down on my forks, am I? My eye level is above that fence. How high are my forks? Actually, I'll take it back. The 3D graphics are better. It's just they ain't done a very good job of them. But I do like looking at the houses and stuff as you go by, and the cars and the driveways and all that. The first game has blown me away when I've been driving around doing this, and I just went down the entire track doing it. Look at those three people sitting on that wall. How unnatural can you look? That seating position is the same no matter what they're doing. If they're sitting on like a bank, that's the position they're in. And that's just laziness. It's just like, I don't know whether they've run out of time or run out of money or what, but that's just sheer laziness, because you put someone in a real natural looking position and then plonk them in the game, and it's the same amount of processing power as this. But that looks shit. It looks terrible with their legs like, if you go from this angle, look at their legs. Completely stupid. I'll tell you what as well, the bike is very, very hard to control when you start getting really slow. That little roundabout at the end where you've got to do the very, very sharp right, and then you go down that narrow road and you curl around the left, that's much harder in this game than it is in the first one. It's hard not to hit the wall, really hard not to hit the wall. So, the handling is obviously different, and in some instances it seems better, in some it seems worse. Let's go and have a look at the Joey Dunlop Foundation building, shall we? See what how much effort they've put into that. Slow down before we get there. Don't want to crash at it. Here we go then. The Joey Dunlop Foundation. That looks alright, doesn't it? They should be windows, really, shouldn't they, up there? Oh, they are windows. They are shiny. They're just not very good. I think that some of these barriers, these orange and white barriers, I think they've got a little bit more texture, a little bit more shading than they had before. Look at that fence. That's a lot of power going into this. Well, it's not, is it, really? Once you've made it, you've made it. It's not moving or anything. But it's a lot of triangles, making them curly bits of fence. And look how all the tops of the fences are bent one way or another. You see, that there's a bit of effort gone into that. They could have just made straight line sticks, all uniform, nice and easy, a lot less triangles, a lot less polygons. But no, they've gone to the effort of making every single post slightly different angled, and then the curly posts as well. So that to render that fence is taking a shitload of power compared to just a load of straight lines. And what's that taking power away from? Is that why a building pops up every now and again? This graveyard. I've got to say, right, here's another thing as well. When you stop and you turn your... Right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to push my controller full to the right. Why did that happen? Right? Why did that happen? Look at this. Controller full to the left. Right? And now I'll accelerate. Turned right. Why? Why the fuck did he turn right? Right, I'm going full left. Accelerate. It's sort of... They turn the way you would a motorcycle if you were going at speed, even if you're going really, really slowly. Now, I mean, if you've got experience of riding a motorbike, you have a thing where you turn the other way to what you are doing because it forces your bike to go on a tip. I don't know what it's called, but you turn the other way, it makes your bike tilt, and then the tilt of your bike makes you take the corner. And that's what's happening here, but you don't do that at slow speed. So these physics are not correct for slow speed. So I've got full right hand lock. If I was going fast, see this moves to the left and then turns right? That is exactly what you do when you go fast. That's the way you ride a motorbike. But when you're going slow, you don't do that. When you're going slow, if you turn, you actually turn the handlebars to whatever direction. You're going slow. There's some birds. Look, watch these birds go over. Oh, I didn't really see them. Oh my God. See, I had full left on then. I couldn't get back on the road because it has to turn right first. So he hit the wall. He shouldn't have hit the wall. Some more birds coming. Oops. I don't like this black and white filter. I think it was the one before was better. It looked a lot better when you fell off on the old game compared to this one. What I'm going to do is ride along for a bit until you can see some pop-up. That bush just popped up there. Oh, I don't like this view. I've got to get on the other view. Which is the nice one? This is the easiest one. Look at these two guys, completely unnatural, look absolutely shit. Oh, that guy at the back with his arms behind his back, that's all right, that's pretty natural. That looks good. This guy here, ridiculous. And the birds that are flying over, we'll stay here for a bit and we'll have a look at some of these birds. It's when they're closer to you, they look really bad. They're very flat as well. They don't seem to be, you know, a three-dimensional shape at all, but the line that they're flying on is a complete dead straight line. Their body doesn't move up or down at all. It's total straight trajectory. And the wings flap so fake. It looks awful. It's like we don't need birds in a bike racing game. Just get rid of them. And use that processing power for something else. Anyway, we're going to ride. I'm going to see if we... Oh, bollocks. I thought I got anti-wheelie turned on. I can't possibly have it turned on. Oh, I deleted my save, didn't I? So everything will be on standard settings. That's why. So I deleted my my save. Ah, shitty shits. Oh, I'm not going to break in time. Whoops. Suspicious dudes. Oh, God's sake, I keep forgetting to lean forward. Ah. Right, let's do some. Let's ride for a bit, and a house will pop up on the left. A big white house will pop up on the left in a bit. You'll see what I mean when we get to it. Look down the road. Some of the road signs just pop up from nowhere as well. We've got a lot of pop up on this game. It's horrible. It really is. I tell you what, I'm tempted to go back to number one. I don't really like the reflection of my my speedo, my odometer either, on my windshield. How it's like a semicircle and then just some dead straight lines. I don't believe that's the way it would look in real life, reflecting in this piece of curved perspex. I really don't. Maybe it would. I don't know, but it looks a bit shit to me. Get some pop-up houses in a bit. Maybe it's because I ain't going fast enough, because my bike's only level 1. Anyway, I hope you're all alright. I hope none of you have got the dreaded virus. Oh dear. Hey, some of the tracks look really, really nice when it's sunny. They really do. With it, you know, the sun shining off the tarmac and all that stuff. I love that. When the sun's shining off the tarmac, it looks lovely. Not necessarily very realistic, but it just looks nice. Braking way too early there. Yeah, I have a lot more difficulty with understeer on this. The previous game, the problem was oversteer, it really was. But on this one, it seems to be understeer. You do really swing out. I mean, at these two corners here, I never used to brake on those two corners at all. There's a couple of shitbirds flying over there. But on this one, if I take those at full speed, I seem to just slide out so much that I can't take the corner. So yeah, this point here, I was on Xavier Dennis's CBR 600, And my braking point on TT1 on that is that road sign. Gets around this corner lovely. But on this game, oh shit. On this game, it just doesn't work like that. I find the handling really difficult. I really do. It seems to be much more difficult than the first game to me. But a lot of people have commented saying the handling is better, the physics are better and all that stuff. I don't know whether I was just very used to the physics on the first game from playing it a lot. And now that maybe this is more realistic motorbike racing, but I'm used to the not so realistic one. I'm going to take it easy. Who knows? But yeah, I'm struggling a lot more on this than I have been on the other one. It's so difficult to slow down in time for these corners. The brakes don't seem to be as good, but then again, I am on an old bike now, and I am not on. On the first game, I was on a new bike, the best spec that it can be. Let's have a little look around here. On this game, I'm not. I'm on level 1 bike. Let's watch some of these birds fly over. Look at that, dead straight line. It looks so rubbish, and we just do not need birds, and there's a lot of them. It's when they go into like sort of glide mode, they look really bad, when they're not flapping at all. Look at the birds in Forza Horizon 4, they look amazing, absolutely amazing. All the animals do, all the animals move really naturally, they look so good. And then compare that to this. Absolutely shit, look at them. As soon as they go into like not flapping mode, when they're just gliding, oh, it's awful. Now, I know I've stopped my bike and I'm looking at them and you wouldn't normally do it. Look at that. It's kind of like they go into like a double vision thing. But you really, really often see the birds doing this when you fall off your bike, and it just ruins the entire look of the graphics of the game. You can't not see it. When you fall off your bike and there's a bird that's sort of gliding past you and like a dead straight, it just looks crap. Maybe that is correct, look. It's just I'm looking at my reflection now. I think it's just unfortunate that my head's not there all the time. If it was there, it'd look better. But because it's here and I end up with that big rectangle of white, it makes it look a bit rubbish. Let's get into this. My helmet view. I can't really look at my bike much. I was hoping I could look at the bike a bit. You can't on this one, but on some of the other bikes, when you're riding along, if you put your head down like this and have a look, you can see the way the different things on the bike are vibrating independently to the fairing of the bike, which is nice. That's good. It's like your oil filler cap and stuff like that starts to not your oil filler. Is it brake fluid? That thing there? It is brake fluid, isn't it? But yeah, they seem to vibrate independently. I like that. It's quite realistic. I'll have a crack at this view for a bit. This view's so bloody. Oh, now I've put my head down because I'm riding. I can see them. But watch the. I'm not doing it, else I'll crash. But watch the different parts of my bike vibrate independently from each other. That's quite good. That looks quite realistic. Anyway, guys, that's it. I think that's a look at Isle of Man TT2. I've got to be honest. The first one I adore. I love the first one. It's probably my favourite game. This one is a very big disappointment. There's a lot of things in here that are very disappointing. A few things are nice. Having Joey Dunlop and Steve Islop, that's really good, and having the old bikes, that's really good. The sounds of the bikes is a lot better. When you've got headphones on, the sounds bike is good. The other thing as well, which I completely forgot to mention, is you've got wind now when you drive past things. You didn't have that in the first one, so you get like a woof, woof, woof noise as you're driving past stuff. Now when you drive through like Kurt Michael and things like that, and you've got a lot of buildings and you've got lampposts and stuff, it sounds fucking brilliant. So when you're whizzing past and you hear it on one side of your head and then the other side, that's a really, really nice little addition. Just a little thing, but it's more absorption into the game. But there's a couple of things that are just stupid. It's like the mini-map on the tracks where there are options as to where you could possibly go, and the mini-map doesn't tell you which way you're supposed to go. That's just so annoying. It really is. It means you can't turn the driver line off unless you know the track. I don't like the driver line. It's like those giant X's are horrible. Now, if you watch my previous videos, you'll see that I try and turn off as much as the HUD as possible because I like the immersion aspect of this game. It feels real. It feels like you're riding a motorbike. Now, that's the other thing. On the first game, even on the very first day of buying it, I was saying, this feels like I'm riding a motorbike. I have a sensation of speed. It feels like I'm on the bike. It's real fun to do. I'm having the same sensation playing this game that I have when I go and ride I haven't got one now, but years ago, when I go and ride my own motorbike in the countryside. That's how it feels. It feels brilliant. This game doesn't do that at all. At no point riding this game have I really felt like I'm on a motorbike. It just doesn't have that feeling about it. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about the first game that gives you that sensation of being on the bike that is missing from this game. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't know whether it's because of the different camera angles are slightly different. I don't like this view at all. This doesn't feel like you're on a bike, and it's I just don't think the bike moves realistically on the road. It just seems to slide about. And oh, look at that. But yeah, I don't like that view. I think this view, which is the cockpit one from the first game, on the first game it seemed, I don't know how it was different. I don't even know if it was different. It just seemed better. But I'm not sure why. Can't put my finger on why, but it seemed better. I really don't like the fact that I need to upgrade my bike and I'm forced to play career mode. I don't like the fact that my tyres and my brakes are cold, so my bike's going to be shit handling. I want to be able to just turn that off completely, and I cannot. And I also don't like how I cannot change, as far as I'm aware. I've had a look. I can't find anywhere where I can do this, but I can't change the difficulty of the game. What the fuck is that? A racing game where you can't change the difficulty? So you're either always coming last if you're not really good, or you're always coming first if you are really good. That's boring, really boring. So yeah, you can't do it. You can't change the difficulty. I'm gonna have a good old look through and check. It's obviously not going to be in here, is it? But no, there is no difficulty level setting on this game. In my opinion, that is just fucking ridiculous. Like, Bruce Dansty's posting 15 minutes something, and I'm posting 21 minutes. What's the point of even playing the career mode? I'm always going to be at least 3 or 4 minutes down on every other single rider on the career mode. Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in always coming last? It's stupid. They absolutely need to add the ability to change your difficulty level. I'm even still thinking now as I'm saying it to you, it must be in there somewhere. I just must be missing it. I must be missing it, but I'm sure it's not. I've gone through looking, and I'm pretty sure that isn't a possibility. I'll go back into my career mode again, and we'll have a little look through the menus and see whether there's anything that we've been missing. So what's in extras? Leaderboards, credits, and the trailer. Not much extras, is there? Options. So we've just been in here. I don't think this is going to be any different in here compared to what it was before. But before, in the riding style... Oh, bloody hell, there it is, look. We've got semi-pro, amateur, simulation or custom. No, that is nothing to do with difficulty level. All that does is change the way your bike is. So that would change these, wouldn't it? Let's have a look, see if that's what it does. Let's put it on simulation. See, look, all this stuff went off. So if I put it back on amateur, all this stuff's gone back on. So all this does, this riding style thing, is just how realistic your bike is. Right, so there is not in here how good the AI is. What's this interact thing? Shift up, down, view, camera. Different cameras. No, it's not, is it? It's just not in there. It just is not an option. What? How dumb is that? How dumb is that? It's like we are not all exactly the same level at playing games. We don't. A huge number of people are going to download this game, play career mode, and never, ever win a race. And other people will only win and never even come second. That's just so stupid. Absolutely stupid. Right, let's get back into career. We've got career, quick race, time attack, free roam, and tutorial. The free roam, I mentioned that a little bit, didn't I? So I'll go back into my career. I can't be bothered to play anymore to open the shop and show you that, but I'm sure you get a gist of what it is. But we have... There's no settings in here. Profile.
Career and trophy statistics.
Yeah. Right. Can we change anything in here? Can't do anything. It's nothing. Can't select anything. All we can do is look at the leaderboards.
Trophy win.
That's it. So I can look at my progress. That's it. Now, another thing as well, you cannot anywhere reset your career, which is what I wanted to do. Now, to reset my career, what I had to do is to delete my save from my Xbox and also from Xbox Live. I deleted my save from my Xbox and then I played the game and it was as it was because I hadn't deleted it from Xbox Live. But yeah, you've got to completely delete your save and then obviously the game is back to the beginning. You cannot delete your career and start over. That's not an option. Because I jumped in and just had a quick look around thinking, well, I'll have a quick look and then I'll restart. Can't restart. So, emails is just a bit pointless. No more submenus in here. So there we go, guys. That is it. Let me know what you think. Are you playing it? Do you like it? Do you think it's better? Do you think it's worse? Do you agree with the points that I've made? I've tried to really focus on the negative rather than the positive. There's a lot of stuff out there talking about the positive. But those points that I've made, I think are shockingly bad. Them birds are just embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Terrible. Get rid of them. And I mean, I know it's nitpicking, but some of the positions that the crowd are in just look stupid. It's like, and there's no need for that at all. That's just carelessness and laziness, and maybe running out of a little bit of money, and what have you. Who knows? But I really wish they'd have put a little bit more care into it, a little bit more love, because the first game impressed me so much. I mean, when I saw this one was on the store, it's 50 quid, which is quite expensive for a game, but it was a no-brainer for me. It's expensive when you've just deleted your entire business and you're now not making any money at all. I really couldn't afford to pay for it. I've got to recover my business before I start buying games. But I had to buy it. But I'm more disappointed because of the things that are bad than I am happy because of the things that are good. So all in all, this is a disappointment for me, even though I'm very, very happy that we've got some of the old bikes. I like the graphics of the bikes more. The bikes sound better. It's not enough. The menu system's a bit better, I suppose, but the first game just felt way better. It just felt much better. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that based on what I've seen on the Xbox Game Store with people's reviews saying the physics are vastly improved, it's much more forgiving. I don't think there was a problem with the first game with it being not forgiving. I didn't fall off all the time. I didn't really have a problem with that. I mean, every once in a while something had happened and you'd kind of bite in and you'd overseer and just hit the wall. That happened every now and then, but not too often. And you just sort of had to counter steer and be careful. But I seem to crash a lot more on this one, I really do. Right, leave comments, let me know what you think. And I do apologise for the huge gap, but there is going to be another huge gap simply because I'm so busy and on lockdown as well. I've just got to, I don't have much time to be able to do this kind of thing because Filippo is very demanding. But nice to talk to you, and I'll see you all soon. Take care, bye-bye.